Hey Sarah, how you doing? So, okay, I got your magazine ads up, and I want to address this question here. Here's the second image. How can I upload two images in an initial post? You can do one of two things. You can actually, what I would prefer is that you place the images in a multi-page PDF. So what you would do there is you would take your ads from Illustrator, and you would open an InDesign file, 2 pages. Place the first ad on the first page, place the second ad on the second page, save that out as a PDF. You now have a 2-page PDF of your that you can post in one posting. And then you can, of course, post multiple files within the same folder if you zip that folder. Okay, so let's take a look at your work here. Now, typically, I recommend, the way I've been directing this project is to use one background image and to assemble your type from there. I don't think this is working because this image is not really indicative of, I mean, it's just kind of it's really a nondescript beachfront with, in front of a nondescript body of water with some nondescript sky. It really isn't a very interesting image. And the way that the kid is sitting here, it just kind of looks kind of manufactured, I think is the best way to put it. Now, keep in mind, this is a resort. So, you're talking about having this family fun, but there's only one kid on the beach. So I'm looking at this, and if I have a kid and I go, wow, I'm going to take my kid on let's take our kid to a family resort, and we get there and my kid doesn't have anyone to play with. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. You see what I'm saying? It's just such a desolate scene with the one kid. It's almost, I don't mean, it's almost sad. This poor little guy doesn't have anyone to play with in the image. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're saying where kids stay and eat for free and unique kids clubs and activities, but you got this poor little guy down here playing by himself. So it's kind of a mixed message there. This magazine ad here, I think it's pretty good. And me, I was directing towards using one background image. I think that's the best way to approach this assignment. I think that's the best way to look at it from a communications point of view, from a general layout, from a page mechanics point of view, and I think it's going to be the most appropriate and the most versatile to show in your student portfolio. I think it's going to say the most to the prospective employer or portfolio reviewer. That said, this image, this ad right here is okay. Now, I recommend using this image right here. You're saying, have it all, kids stay, you got this family, and they're having fun, this family. What I would do is I would crop this image to something like that and use that. And that might be too much. Hold on. Okay? That way you can assemble your type, your headline, your type, your logo, and things around that. Okay, let me describe what I'm seeing as I open this up. The first thing I'm seeing is that you're using unspecified typefaces from the Amethyst-based style guide. So remember, there's only one typeface to choose from. You can use different styles, but these are not allowed. These are not permitted by your client. Okay, the next thing is we look at the formatting of the type, which is center aligned. And I recommend not center aligning type for anything other than wedding invitations. It creates a really nasty symmetry around the type, and it's just really difficult to go from like this line to this line, then here, and these staggering left margin makes it really difficult to read. That's called an orphan. You don't want any words on a line by themselves. I would left align that type, pull the headline up top where you're introducing the type. Okay. Now, the one thing that I think, again, with this layout here is that you're using a cool color to represent a very warm place. I think that your client would probably not want you to use such a color from the extreme cool end of the spectrum to promote a Caribbean resort. The next thing is the number of visual stops. It's another reason why I recommend using that background image, because you want to have your magazine ad invite the viewer in and really be able to just kind of be part of the ad, to kind of reside in the ad for a second, read through it, look through it, and then exit. Here, you're not really allowing because there's too many visual stops, okay? You have this, then you have this, then you have this, then you have this big white space, then you have this big headline in the middle. Okay, so you're asking your viewer to look at too many things. This image right here, I don't think it's a good image because it's such a peculiar and odd image that it just draws all the attention like a target. And plus that circle just pulls everything right in there. Okay, so I hope I'm making sense with what I'm saying. And if not, just, feel free to contact me. I'll be able to clarify. But those are my recommendations. And, you haven't done anything wrong. I think everything looks great. Your images are all of your images are adjusted very well. The placement is great. Placement of images, placement of type, placement of logo. Everything is technically handled very well. I would just like to see a little bit more attention to page mechanics itself. And that, I think, in turn will help this presentation come time for your portfolio. Okay, hope I'm making sense. If not, feel free to holler and I will be sure to address any clarifications I need to make. All right, thank you very much.